Welcome back for another episode of Big G's Backyard Motorcycle Restoration. I'm Glenn, and spring is here in Maryland. I've been working on my new 1976 Yamaha XS 650 since I got it about 5 weeks ago, but I can't ride it yet. It's beautiful weather and I'd like to be riding, but wheels are still off. It doesn't have brakes. I don't know if it starts. So kind of in the middle of a number of little projects there. So figure it's time to dust off. I just uncovered this guy here. It's a 2004 Vespa ET2. So it's a 50cc scooter. It's a 2-stroke, but you know, it's a twist and go. It's fun. It's got the box there. It's got storage under the seat. It's also got a little bit of damage from my last ride a little over 3 months ago in December. I laid it down. Slippery conditions, it went down. So definitely have a little bit of work to do with this one. But the main goal for today is it going to start. So we're going to see if my winterizing efforts went well. Can we get it to start? Can I get 2 mirrors on it? So I've got some replacements here, maybe a new windscreen, and hopefully get it out for the first ride of the year. I think that'd be a nice thing for this wonderful spring day. So let's get started and see what we can get going. All right, first order of business. Got to pop the seat here. Which again, you can see got the what is known in the Vespa community as the pet carrier, because in the US they have that warning not to put a pet in there. And underneath that other cap, battery box, and gasoline goes here. You put at least 91 octane, so in the US that's premium. And then in here, 2-stroke oil mixes itself. So definitely going to be doing some cleanup projects, clean up the engine compartment. But today, first order of business, let's get that battery box off, and then we'll be able to get the battery in there, make sure everything's still working, see if we can get this guy to start. So battery box cover, put a new screw in it last year. So there we are. All right, so this battery worked when I put it away for the winter. Again, we've got should be maybe something to hold it in here. Might have to fashion something to do that. But whatever sort of battery holder was in here at some point does not exist anymore. That's okay. Never really heard it rattling around, but at the same point should have some sort of some way to hold the battery in there, strap or something. But long-term project. I intend to keep this and the Yamaha going, because this one I don't have to put, tags on it every year, which I found out. They tagged it initially. May have seen that, but it doesn't need a tag in the state of Maryland because it's 50cc. It's going to get a decal that I'll put on here in a little while. And on that decal, as long as I don't lose it, it's a permanent decal. So it's registered as long as I want to use it. And I pay pretty minimal amount of insurance each year. So I figure if I've got some things going on with the Yamaha, maybe it's out of commission. I'll still have something to ride. Even if the Yamaha's not doing so great. Also could be fun for someone who's visiting to play around with, because in the state of Maryland, you don't need a motorcycle license. So, first test. Are we getting a good connection? Are we going to get light starter? All of those things. Okay. I've had the oil light come on, so that's a good sign. Just going to put this down for a second. Did the wheel lock. So, I'll show you, for those who may not be familiar with Vespas or scooters, how this works. It's pretty simple. It's not a clutch, it's just the brake lever. You hold in the brake lever and push the starter, but something's not going on with the starter. Did I have it? I had the kill switch on. So starter's working, but it's not started yet. Let's see if maybe a few more turns will make it go. And that's what I was hoping for. So I had winterized it with Sta-Bil in the gas, fogging oil, pulled out the spark plug, put the fogging oil in, so just took the starter a few seconds to get gas through the fuel line, and it's pretty much ready to go. So I'm going to let it idle a little bit. Still have to get some sort of table outside for my tools so I can stop dropping them everywhere, but it's pretty much ready to go. I'm just going to let it go a little bit, and then we'll try some of this other maintenance, and then get geared up and try to take it for a ride. All right, so with this, I think the first order of business is going to be taking off that cover on the front. It's going to make accessibility to everything else just a little bit easier. So, a pair of pliers, vice grips, whatever you have, just to get these bolts loosened up. Looks like I need to go get stronger. I know that I thought I hand tightened these. I guess I did not. So, stronger pliers. All right, first up is going to be to get off this windscreen. It tends to get in the way. Just a couple of screws here. Screws right into this, right underneath the handlebars. Got it started, able to untighten it by hand. And of course I'm using my genuine Harbor Freight imitation vice grips here, only the best. I do have bigger ones, but that's all I could find at the moment. Shop is in a state of flux. So much cleaning going on with the Yamaha that I can't find everything right now, but that's okay. So, definitely going to move my phone mount, hopefully, to new mirrors. Didn't really work with these stems that have rubber on them. So I attached it to the windscreen. I'd rather not do that. Keep everything in the pet carrier just for the sake of organization. All right, put the friction bolt out. And this is what it was supposed to look like initially. So, front of the XS650. So this is the front of the Vespa ET2. Very classic profile. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at these mirrors. Never really liked these. Too bad I had just gotten them fixed. This one was always wobbly. Then I got it fixed. And then I broke it. So we're going to just go to some traditional sort of ears and go from there. This one, I should be able to, untwist it because it screws right into the socket right there. So that one is simple. So this is just sort of an inexpensive replacement mirror. We're going to try to just screw this guy in and hope for the best. They're sort of universal motorcycle, sort of Mickey Mouse ear type mirrors. This one says left on it. I guess I just, there we go. Got to turn it around. A little bit of adjustment to get this just right. To figure out what the proper stop point is. Because there's no adjustment on the other side to be made. And that's probably about it. I'll have to test that out later. Got a nice little cap. Bam, there it is. So then I should be able to take that phone mount and just clap it on right there with the little spacer. And then this can be kind of down here below the mirror. Perfect. That'll be good. Now we have the other mirror. I guess they're actually universal. They just both say L on them. Because you can just twist them around as needed. Getting this guy off is going to be a little bit different because there's a bolt underneath here. And I don't recall whether it's a 10 millimeter or, what sort of size we're dealing with. So we're going to go under there and find out. Or maybe I'll just try to do it blind. I don't know. Just sure there's a right way to do it, but I don't know. There it is. This is my sort of introduction to life on two wheels. Got it last year in the summer. Then I thought to get tagged I was going to need inspection, which ended up not actually needing. But it did need a little bit of work, sticky throttle, and a few other concerns. Needed new tires, brakes adjusted, all of those things, and I wasn't really qualified to do that, and I wanted to ride it. So I was told, it would take a couple of weeks, month tops. I got it back, took it in early August, got it back in November.
So, needless to say, my experience with that particular maintenance person has convinced me to try to do more and more of this stuff myself. So I don't have to wait for somebody and hear their excuses why nothing has been done. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and do the work myself now. Of course, this is an Italian-made scooter, so everything will be in metric. This is a 10mm screw or nut. Should be able to get it with my hand the rest of the way. Now I'm starting to wonder if I didn't have the wrong bolt. Oh, that's right. There's some wiring that kind of has gotten out of place here. Makes it hard to get to that bolt. This is riveting YouTube watching, folks. Watch a man struggle to find blindly correct nut to get off this mirror. All right, finally I have the correct socket. It appears 13mm. That is the correct thing. Yep, that was the one. All right, now this is the one I'm a little worried about. Is this going to work? So I think I
can either put this as a stop nut or maybe take it off all the way to get all the way. Not really sure. We'll try, see what better use is. And well, won't go all the way through, so that's got to come all the way out. Get a little bit more room for that mirror to drop. Right. Okay. So that makes for a whole new look the front of this Vespa. And obviously some adjustments are going to be needed to make that even, which I'll do now, but this thing's ready for a ride. Perhaps I'll put on the phone holder and take you along with me. I want to show off a few other features of the Vespa. Again, never mind the license plate. That's going back, and take that off later today and clean up the license plate holder. Maybe paint it so then I can put my new decal there. But this one also has a top box, so great storage. I can keep my helmet and gloves right there, so it's ready to go. I even have like a multi-purpose tube scarf thing to go over my head to keep the hair back. So if I am going somewhere and I want to be able to not have helmet hair, then I've got that. But some new gear we're going to be testing out today. Got these off of Amazon. They were $50 for a pair, but again, they are motorcycle boots. They don't need the shifter toe cap thing here with the automatic, twist and go Vespa. But when we get the Yamaha going, it's going to be perfect for that. But it's got all the ankle protection you would want. It's also got the zip up so I can get the fit just right and then slide my feet in and out. I think online or Amazon, they were shown as Borleni, but these are Iron Gia. I think it's the same company that they just changed branding. But they also came with black laces if I didn't want the red ones. But hey, the red ones are fun. We're going to go with that. Kind of like a sneaker type sole here. But they're going to have plenty of grip and mostly plenty of ankle protection. When I had my incident last December with this Vespa, when I broke the mirror and the windscreen, I also broke my leg, and the foot got trapped underneath of the sort of guard here. Tried to, instinctively put my foot down, and it got trapped under there and just got twisted around. Had I had ankle protection, might have been able to avoid, surgery, crutches, knee scooter, walking boot, and my favorite pastime is running. I've been able to do that since mid-December as well. So safety first, guys. We're going to try out some new gear today, see how it goes, and we're going to get ready and take this Vespa for a ride. So got the phone mount on the mirror, but the way it holds the phone, I can't really use camera. So I have to get another camera set up if I'm going to do any kind of riding videos, even short ones. That's okay. Let's share a little bit more safety gear. These are leather motorcycling gloves with the knuckle and protection. Isabel 500 custom helmet with the flip down sunscreen. And as I said, tube scarf. Now, I did say I was going to run a little errand, so I'm going to go to the post office today. So I need a way to hold my letters. Another storage option, if I can get it to work here, is to another storage option would be to push it here, and it opens up a glove box. This is where I keep my documents, but I'm also going to put my letters to go in the mail. So we're going to get ready and start this guy up. Put my letters in here, safe and secure. Well, it doesn't always want to shut, does it? All right, so took the license plate cover off so I can paint that, get that ready to put the new decal on. Also added windscreen. Mirrors and the windscreen look nice. I like the clear better than the heavy smoke one that was there before, but that'll be nice if I ride it to work. A little less wind in the face. Could even ride that a little bit further into the late winter or late fall to work with that wind protection. So that's cool. So I found out a little more damage that was done in my little accident back there in December is that the front end is out of alignment. So before I ride it again, I'm going to have to figure out how to adjust the alignment so that when the handlebars are facing forward, the tire is as well. It's veering a little bit to the left. So with that, I think that's all we're going to do on the Vespa today, other than maybe a little bit of paint prep on the license plate holder. But thanks for joining me today. It was nice to get out on a nice spring ride here and enjoy being on two wheels again. Gives me a little more motivation as I go ahead and finish up work on the Vespa and also the Yamaha. Riding weather is here. Let's get this work done so we can enjoy it. So we're back in the shop. This time we're with the license plate holder from the 2004 Vespa ET2. You can see that it's got some rust and not very smooth. I'm going to spray paint this black, make it really nice so that when I put that permanent decal on there, I don't have to worry about it rusting underneath or falling off. We're going to make sure that this looks really nice, and then we'll put it back on the Vespa the next time. So I think what we're going to do here is just maybe hit it with the sanding block a little bit, see if we can get some of these spots down a little bit, maybe add in, you know, a little bit of lubricant, whether that be, you can hit it with the WD-40 just to create a little bit of lubricant here. And I know I could get out a power sander for this, but honestly, we don't need a perfect job here. We're just trying to make it a little bit smoother, a little bit better. Make sure that I've got an automotive paint with primer. So I just want to try to make it so that everything adheres pretty easily. Obviously, we're going to have to get this oil off of there before we paint anything. So that'll definitely be part of the prep. The oil's just for a little bit of lubricant here with the sanding block. So this is the side that the decal is going to adhere to. That'll face out towards, you know, the road. So this is what people will see. I'm a little more concerned about trying to make, especially the edges that are going to be seen here, look as nice as possible. Especially once we have that new paint on top of it. Of course, that little part there is kind of a pain. Also, I'm going to dip this in vinegar bath real quickly to try to get some of this stuff off of there. And then we'll clean it up really nice. And then go ahead and take it outside and get that first layer of spray paint on there. Won't take very long. Not a very big piece. But I think we'll try to hang it from a string or something so that or a piece of wire, maybe mechanics wire or something like that, so that we can paint both sides. Let it wait a few minutes and then, you know, hit it with the second coat. Again, I'm a little less concerned about making this part smooth. This part will not be seen. I just want to clean it up a little bit, make sure that the paint will adhere so it doesn't rust out from underneath of us. Because as long as I have the Vespa, and even if I sell it to somebody else, that permanent, in the state of Maryland, that permanent decal is going to go with it. So I'd rather not have to replace this or have something made to replace this and then have to pay to get a replacement decal just because it rusted out from under us. Okay. Okay, dip this in a little bit of vinegar, get a little bit of rust, you know, for it to try to get at a little bit of that rust there. And again, still providing a little bit of, you know, sort of lubricant for wet sanding here. And I can see it getting at that rust spot right there. So that's nice. Get that off of there. And then we'll clean it up with a little bit of simple green mixture. Just get all the vinegar off too. And we'll make sure to dry it off real well before taking it outside for painting. Not as much rust on this side, thankfully. But a little bit of crud. Let's get that crud off there. Again, we're just trying some things out, folks. I'm not an expert at any of this. In fact, I've never really done any painting of automotive parts before, so this will be a learning experience. But I've watched enough videos to kind of know a few tricks, or feel like I should try some of them out. See what the see what the experts say. I'm just gonna get it with that simple green. And yeah, this is much smoother now. I think that paint should adhere pretty well. I'm gonna make sure that this dries really well. Maybe clean it with some mineral spirits, or maybe even brake cleaner. Just something that will get even whatever residue might come from this simple green off of there as well. You know, we've got the brake cleaner right here. Might as well grab a new towel. The brake cleaner. Just try this out. And, okay. This dries up pretty quickly. It was part of the reason why I'm using it. That, and it's pretty good at cutting through grease and other grime, the sort of things that would get on a brake disc or a brake pad and make it difficult to stop. So I think it's pretty ideal for this metal surface as well. And now it's quite clean. We'll give it a couple minutes to dry really well. Then we're going to take this outside and try to get a little paint on it, see how that goes. I'll take you with me. Okay, so we're in my backyard, which makes sense given the name of the show. But this is a tie-out wire that's between two trees. Got a particularly boisterous golden retriever named Kylo. And this allows us to kind of work in the backyard and still let him sort of run around. But since this wire is already up, it's given me an ideal place to tie up this piece of metal, this plate that we're going to be painting, and kind of get all the way around it with the automotive paint. Sorry, I'm just trying to set up the camera at a place where you'll be able to see what we're doing. Maybe over here. There we go. So, what we're using, Rust-Oleum Automotive Enamel, flat black. So, there's sort of a number of different spray patterns that you can use. I think I'm just going to go with the standard spray pattern. The directions suggest that obviously I've got to shake it up really well. The little, the reason why we call this the Rattle Kid. So for this one, says that we should hold the can 10 to 16 inches away from surface and spray in a steady back and forth motion, slightly overlapping each stroke. Keep the can same distance from the surface. Keep the can in motion while spraying. Apply 2 or more light coats a few minutes apart. And it should dry to the touch in about 20 minutes and handle in about an hour, at which point we can take it inside, and then it should cure within 24 hours, and then that should be okay. So that's what we're going to try to do here. So I'm going to go with the standard spray pattern. Okay, so about 10 inches away, we're going to go back and forth from top to bottom. Okay, so one problem with my setup is that the swinging of the metal is going, I mean, it's so light, it's going to go even if the only thing hitting it is the paint itself. Okay, so I'm going to get a little paint on my hands, but that's okay. Okay, so far, no drips like that, no runs. Hopefully I've gone light enough here. I'm not an expert with spray paint, so we're doing the best we could here. And again, not going to be perfect. And I'm going to make some mistakes, but that's okay. This is mostly going to be covered up. This is mostly being done for the sake of protecting the metal so it doesn't rust and cause us to lose the decal or have to get a replacement one. And hopefully it'll look a little nicer. Okay, so I'm going to give that a couple minutes to dry a little bit, and then we'll come back for a second coat. Okay, all right, I changed the angle a little bit here because the wind was actually blowing a little bit of the paint towards camera, which is not ideal. What I've noticed is that my first coat was a little too heavy in spots. There are some runs. Luckily, this is mostly not going to be seen because this isn't my best work, guys. I'll have to call this one a painting fail. I think I was a little too close with the can, maybe not moving quite fast enough to keep it from building up too much here. So it got a little too heavy at the top, and then it started running down towards the bottom. But again, most of this is going to be covered up, and thank God for that. So we're going to give it another couple minutes to dry, and then we'll hit it with that second coat. Well, my poor technique is definitely making this take a little bit longer than I would like because the areas that were painted too heavily are taking forever to dry, while other parts have dried minutes ago and are really ready for that next coat. So I'm going to give it another minute or so here. It's pretty much drying up now. And then we'll go ahead and give it a very light second coat to kind of try to even this out a little bit. All right, I think we're ready. Remembering from other videos about automotive or spray painting in general, it's like you got to start spraying before you get to the piece or it gets too heavy on the edges. I think that's going to be a little bit better. And luckily I'm outside, it's well ventilated. This is definitely going to be one for the blooper reels, guys. But it's going to have paint on it, and it'll dry, and then we'll slap a decal over top of it. Luckily, this is flat paint, so I think it's with that flat finish, it's going to be a little bit more forgiving with this really bad job that I did. Okay, got a lot to learn about spray painting, clearly, but thank you for joining me. We'll put this back together on the next episode that we have with the Vespa. This has been Big G's Backyard Motorcycle Restoration. Please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you next time.